The family of a missing woman found in the back of a van is now hoping to shine a spotlight on that case. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office just releasing details Thursday on the death of 37-year-old Krystle Proctor, although her body was found last week.
A photo of 37-year-old Krystle Proctor happy and smiling sharply contrasts with how those who knew her now feel.
So we have a case today. A young lady by the name of Krystle Proctor. She was found. Her body was found in the back of a van. Authorities are now looking for whoever did this. I'm going to fill in some details that big media is not talking about, like who the possible suspect could be and exactly maybe what happened. Stay tuned, Fugitive TV. Welcome to Fugitive TV. I am your host, Ray Marcel. And what we do here is we take a look at cases of missing individuals, true crime, or crime cases that need a bigger spotlight. Also, we do a deep dive into these cases, and I give you a different perspective than what some other people can give you. One of the reasons why is because I was once a fugitive on the run from the law myself. I ran from the law for 15 years, living in different countries under different names. I eventually turned myself in. Now I own multiple companies. I run this YouTube channel, and I help locate missing individuals for family members. And I also help locate some fugitives that need to be brought to justice because of what they might have done to a family member. Well, this is one of those cases where we have a fugitive on the run. Now, a person sent me this this case, and they told me to look into it. So I looked into it, okay? And there's some stuff that I saw that is disturbing. Now, this is a case of the young lady's name is Krystle Proctor, okay? Krystle Proctor. This is out of San Antonio, Texas. Now, Krystle was found in the back, I should say her body was found in the back of a white cargo van after she was reported missing from her family members, or I should say by her family members. Well, law has put out a couple pictures saying to look out for this individual. The problem is the picture they're giving us, he's covered up from head to toe. It's almost like Nancy Guthrie, covered up from head to toe. You don't even know who this individual is. Well, I think I might know who this individual is. After doing some background, some researches, I looked into this case for about a good 2.5 hours, probably even 3 hours, with some help from my partner, Julia, who does a lot of research with me. And I think we found some things. But first, before I let you know what we found, I'm going to read an article so you guys can get a little more detail about what's going on.
This is definitely tough for all of us.
Kirsten Davis spoke to me from South Carolina, heartbroken over the death of her only sister, a Navy veteran, mother, and local business owner.
I'm very concerned about my niece and nephew. They've lost their mother, and we're informed of that pretty close to Mother's Day.
Now, this article was from ksat.com. It says, missing woman found dead in van on Northwest Side, Sheriff's Office said. Authorities are looking for a person seen to be possible associated with Krystle Proctor. It says authorities are asking for the public's help after a missing woman was found dead inside of a van on the Northwest Side. Now, this is in San Antonio, on the Northwest Side of San Antonio. I've done a lot of cases within the last 6 months out of this county that I'm realizing. A lot of missing reports and things like that. According to Bexar County Sheriff's Office, I believe it's Bexar, B-E-X-A-R. I believe the X is silent. Am I correct? Please let me know if I'm correct if the X is silent. But according to Bexar County Sheriff's Office, Krystle Proctor, 37, was reported missing by a relative on May 7th. The relative told the Sheriff's Office that Proctor had been missing since around April 27th. So she's been missing since around April. The date today is now May 22nd, okay? But she was found in the back of the van, she was reported May 7th, okay? May 7th is when they reported her missing, but she's been really missing, they said, since maybe around the 27th, April 27th. On Thursday, the sheriff's office said Proctor was found dead in the back of a van in the 8800 block of Cinnamon Creek, now near Fredericksburg Road. Now, they found her in the van. The van was parked in the back of an apartment complex. We're going to look at the apartment complex. I'm going to show you exactly where the van was parked, okay? Now, it says the sheriff's office is looking for a person seen to be possible associated with Proctor, wearing a green long sleeve shirt, blue pants, and red covering. The agency is also asking the public for information related to a white Ford E250 van with the Texas license plate of TXR 4158. Anyone with information who believes they may have seen anything suspicious April 27th and May 5th is urged to contact the sheriff's office. And then it gives you the phone number. Now, when I read these articles, I like to read more than one, because sometimes another one will give you a little more information. This is from KENS 5. A missing woman was found, and it tells you, exactly where she was found, just like the last one. It also says a white Ford E250 van has a license plate TXR 4158. Now, this is a cargo van, okay? An actual cargo van. I looked up the plate, looked up the VIN number to cargo van. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office asking for information related to this homicide, all right? And then here's a picture of him, which we're going to get into more pictures. I'm going to show you more pictures of him, okay? Remember this picture right here, guys. Please remember this picture, all right? And I'm going to ask you a question. Here's the van, okay? Now, this van, as far as I know, belongs to Krystle. This is her van. Now, you might ask why she has a van like this. This is her van, as far as I know, okay? It says, May 7th at about 10:11 a.m., they received the call for a missing persons report on 37-year-old Krystle Proctor. The missing persons unit immediately tried to locate Proctor, who had been missing since April 27th. Proctor's vehicle she was known to drive was later found in the 800 block. So see, the van was hers. Remember, I told you, when you read another article, sometimes it will give you more information, okay? Then it goes on to tell you about this individual. Subject wearing a green long shirt, blue pants, a red covering, like he was really covered up. Look, really covered up. This guy knew what he was doing. This is not his first time. This is not his first time. I'm going to let you know this now. This guy knows what he was doing, okay? Then it tells you if you have any information. This right here is an overview of the apartment building, okay? So this is an overview of the apartment building of where they found the van and where they found her inside the van. So I'm going to zoom in. I believe the van was found right here. Let me zoom out for you guys. I'm going to zoom out. Here's Cinnamon Creek. Okay. Here's their apartment building. I believe the van was found right here next to this dumpster. Actually backed into this corner right here, exactly where you might see this little white, I don't know what this is, white vehicle. But this is where the van was parked. Now, the van allegedly was parked there for a few days. So she was in the back of that van for a few days and people were noticing the smell. Now, I do know you do have, as you see, a trail back here. You see this trail? Okay. So I don't know exactly where that picture was taken from that I read to you guys earlier, but he could have easily walked back here to this trail. Because think about it, this trail is not going to have cameras, right? There's might be cameras around these apartment complexes, but he could have easily walked to this trail, all right? And could have been walking down this trail, maybe discarded some items, and walked down that trail until he possibly got into another vehicle. Where's the other vehicle, you may ask? That we don't know. But I'm pretty sure exactly it's probably what he did. So how did he know to even go over here in the first place? How did he know? I'm pretty sure he's familiar with this area. I'm willing to bet you he's been to these apartments or one of these apartments over here before. I'm willing to bet you that he's been over here somewhere in this area before. So he is familiar. He knew where exactly to leave. He knew where exactly to get away. He knew exactly to get behind these trees and probably walk this path. I don't know which way he walked, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Now, this is another reason how I found out that the van, actually belongs to her. Okay. Now, this right here is Google Streets of, I believe, where she used to live at, because I believe she moved. I saw in the history records that a new property was purchased. Okay. So I believe this was the old property. But if you look, you see, there's the white van. There's the white van, right? And you're going to have other vehicles here. Okay. You see these other vehicles, 3 other vehicles. Pay attention to this one vehicle right here. I believe it's a Ford pickup. Pay attention to this Ford pickup. If you look underneath, you can see it's got a set of rims that are not stock and it's gray. All right. So remember that. Remember the pickup. Okay. And remember this picture. Look at the statue, right? Look at how he's shaped. He's got skinny legs. And he looks kind of heavy set up top, doesn't he? He looks kind of heavy set up top. Even though he's got a sweater, jacket, whatever it is, he looks like he's heavy set up top. All right. But you could tell from when he's walking, his legs are skinny. Now, Krystle owned a couple companies, okay? One of the companies that she owned that is under her name is No Mercy Kennels, okay? I want you guys to look at this right here. So this right here, guys, on Facebook goes by the name of Mike Larry. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this man is because Krystle, she owned a couple companies, actually a few. One company was called No Mercy Kennel. Okay, No Mercy Kennel. It was a company under her name. But this man, Mike Larry, was the one that was pretty much running it, all right? Dogs, you can get it with a kennel. They're selling dogs, right? I mean, now I'm not saying he did it, but let's look at his stature for a moment. You guys see what I see? Is there anything, that's another picture. That's a picture of them. Okay. Now, allegedly they were together. Okay. I don't know if they were married, but this was her husband. All right. Goes by the name of Mike Larry. Now, I want to show you this again. I don't know. What do you guys think? See the shoulder width. Even the hand right here pretty much looks the same. Look at the hand. The hand almost looks the same. Arms are the same length. Almost looks the exact same, right? Now, he is also known to drive a truck. See this truck right here? That's the truck he is known to drive. Look at the rims. See how it's aftermarket rims? It's gray. Okay. And then look. Is that the same truck in the driveway? Is that the same truck in her driveway?
In fact, it was late that week when they all found out. Bexar County Sheriff's investigators discovered Proctor's body last Thursday at this apartment complex on Cinnamon Creek near Fredericksburg Road in the back of her white van. She and the vehicle were reported missing from southeast Bexar County that same day.
No real information has been given to us. I understand it's an active investigation, and so I'm sure that's part of the reason.
Sheriff's investigators have yet to label this a homicide, but homicide detectives were combing through a wooded area nearby Friday afternoon.
You see a caravan of vehicles pulling up to an area, you can kind of feel like something is going on. Julius
Hampton noticed the commotion from his balcony, but only found out later why they were there.
It's intriguing, very concerning.
So, like I said, Facebook, Instagram, media, all goes by the name of Mike Larry. But the one thing I found was when I was going through social media, I actually found somebody that they sold a dog to, call him Jay. They said, come see my man Jay. And I'm thinking, I thought his name was Mike Larry. So is Jay a nickname? Then I'm realizing that Krystle's last name on social media is Brown. Then I go onto TikTok and I see that the TikTok is called Meet the Browns. Not Meet the Larrys, Meet the Browns. So I did a background check on Krystle, and that's how I came up on her businesses. She has a transportation business. That's probably one of the reasons why she's got the van to transport things. And they got the kennel business. So maybe when they're buying, selling dogs, whatever it is, it's better to have a cargo van for transportation, things like that. So it made sense of why she owned this cargo van. Okay. I didn't get why nothing was under his name, though. Not one of these businesses is under his name. There's nothing under his name. There's even a new house that I saw. His name's not underneath it. So I'm like, why isn't anything under his name? I came across a different name, guys. I don't believe this name is Mike Larry. Now, I could be wrong. But I don't think his name is Mike Larry. I think his name is Derek Brown. I'm going to show you something. All right, guys. So while I was doing research on this and a background search on Krystle, I came across the name Derek, all right, with the last name of Brown, which Krystle's last name was Brown on her social media account. And this man has a record longer than a CVS receipt. All right. I think he was hiding a lot of things, and I don't think he was being truthful. All right. And I'm going to explain to you why once I read these charges. All right. And I'm going to go over them quickly because there is a lot. So you have 2025, drive a motor vehicle on a highway without required license. Person driving a motor vehicle or public use property suspended, displaying a plate issued for another vehicle. So he was driving around with a plate that didn't match the vehicle. He gave a false and fictitious name to an ununiformed police officer. So he gave a fake name to a police officer while operating an unregistered motor vehicle. Now, all this took place. These charges looks like it took place last year, November of 2025. Okay. Then he has operating motor vehicle theft, then theft of less than $100, rogue and vagabond. Rogue and vagabond, I had to look that up. That's when police pull you over and they discover tools to break into something, pick locks, things like that. All right. Person driving motor vehicle on a highway or public use property or suspended. Driving motor vehicle on highway without required license or authorization. Now, all this is coming from Maryland County. Now, I do know they were living in San Antonio. Okay. I'm going to show you guys how this connects. Driving while license suspended, operating unregistered vehicle, displaying another plate for a different vehicle. Once again, driving attempted another vehicle without required license. This is the end of last year in Maryland in October. I mean, it just keeps going on and it gets worse and worse, guys. It gets worse. He was obstructing some vehicle in Howard County. Failure at an individual driveway. I mean, it was back to back. I don't know what this guy was doing. Failure of warning lights to be visible from 1,500 feet. Parking were prohibited. Last summer, driving vehicle on highway without current registration plate. Failure to now, like all these are traffic, but this is not it. A lot of these crimes, I should say, these traffic citations, they're all misdemeanors. He's hiding something. It's some sort of way something that he is hiding from the police. So he's giving them fake names. He's switching plates on the vehicles. Trust me, I know. Remember, I was a fugitive for 15 years. I did it for 15 years. So I know exactly what this guy was doing. He's switching plates. So that way, when a cop gets behind him or a plate reader runs the plate, okay? They're not reading the correct car, all right? When he gets pulled over, he's given a fake fictitious name, all right? Possession of a suspended driver's license, failure to obey properly placed traffic control device instructions, driving attempting a motor vehicle on highway without required license or authorization. So he's driving around all these places, okay? First with no license, a suspended license, okay? Then after that, they probably take his, then he's giving them fake names after that. Driving uninsured vehicle, all right? Like I said, plenty. Now we get into November 2024, grand larceny, auto theft out of Virginia, okay? Forged plates, decals, meaning that he was switching probably the sticker that goes on a license plate back and forth. August 2024, violate of protective order, meaning somebody had a protective order or a restraining order on him and he violated the order, all right? Then he has some sort of charge between 100 and 1,500. He's got assault charges, okay? This is where the violation order came from. His first assault charge, he's got assault charge May 15th, 2022, burglary, 4th degree in a dwelling, which means he broke into somebody's property, all right? And then assaulted them because he has an assault charge on the exact same day. All right. And then another assault charge on August 22nd, and then violated the order 20 days later. Now, this is all from 2024. He's got more driving under suspension, Now, here we go. March 26, 2021. Fugitive from Justice, Pennsylvania. All right. Fugitive from Justice, Pennsylvania. Receiving stolen property. Then he has again, 2020, fugitive from justice. This one's North Carolina. I can keep going on and on. As you see, and on. More assault charges. 2010. Burglary, 2010. And as you see, it's all under the name of Derek Brown. And the record just kept going on, guys. It was a lot. If I read every single thing in detail, this would be a 2-hour video. That's how long everything was, okay? With all the traffic tickets, everything that was going on. Now, some of the stuff, it looks like it's still open. Some of the cases are actually still open. Some of them are closed. One, it looks like he was sentenced to, it was supposed to be 7 years with a 2-year probation, but I don't know exactly what happened. So I don't know if he actually served those 7. I don't know if that was 7 years where, let's say, a suspended 7 years, because sometimes what would happen is the judge will give you, let's say, or the judge will say 7 years prison, but then it will say suspended with a 2-year probation, meaning they let you out on 2 years probation. But if you mess up in those probation, if you mess up one time, you go to jail for 7 years. Okay. So I don't know if that was the case for, the case that I found where we were supposed to get 7 years. I don't know. It didn't give me a lot of detail, but when I saw a lot of these charges, I was like, these are type of charges when you're running from the law, or the type of charges when you're trying to hide something from somebody. So my question is, did Krystle know everything that this man was doing or did? Did she know everything? Did she find out something she wasn't supposed to find? Was she threatening to leave him and take everything away? Because remember, all the businesses are in her name. Remember that. The kennel business is in her name. The transportation business is in her name. There's 3 other businesses, all in her name. Nothing is in his name. I don't know if that truck is in his name or her name. I don't know. I can only assume, because even the house that was purchased is under her name. So did she threaten to leave him? And he was like, no, I'm sorry, this ain't happening. You know? Did she find out about a lot of things maybe that he did before that she didn't know he did? The protective order, the assault charges, was that on another female? Now, most of these charges were out of Maryland. So at first I was like, all these charges are out of Maryland, but they're in San Antonio. Well, I found a social media post from his TikTok, okay? His TikTok, where he's actually got a picture with a Baltimore hat on. And he's repping, he is from Maryland. And Derek, when you look at his addresses, his past addresses are from Maryland and are from Virginia. Okay? So like I said, unless Mike Larry is a totally different person, okay, that's vanished and there's no trace of this Mike Larry whatsoever, I'm thinking Mike Larry is really Derek Brown. It would make sense of why Krystle's last name was Brown on Facebook and why their TikTok is called Meet the Browns. It just makes sense. If you guys know anything about this, you're welcome to email me. My information is always below. You can email me, let me know anything you want me to know. You're welcome to do an interview remotely. I'll put you on air, or a phone interview, whatever you like, okay? Please like and subscribe. Continue to turn on the notification bell. Help me get to 30,000 subscribers. We're almost there. I'm trying to get there by the end of the summer. Thank you so much. You've helped my channel grow into one of the fastest growing channels on YouTube when it comes to true crime. Thank you so much. So please take care of one another. Love one another, okay? And if you want to support this channel, please join the membership. It helps. It goes a long way, all right? Take care of one another. Look out at your surroundings. Watch your surroundings. Until next time, this is Fugitive TV, and I'm out.